Hello, Moobit again. Third in the line of Transformers 4 toy reviews. And we're going to go with my favourite size, which lots of collectors don't like, but I love these tiny ones. He's got a new shiny sticker on. New. Well, we've got this and Optimus Prime, and we've got Starscream as well. But we'll start with Optimus Prime and see where we go. I may do them all in one review. I may do them separately. So let's go, Optimus Prime! Yay! And here he is, Optimus Prime, yay! Kind of a new Cyberverse-y, Legends-y kind of homage to G1 crossed with a couple other Primes, really. There's bits and nods to all of them. But he looks okay in packaging. There's this vehicle mode right there. Lovely bit of artwork on the top. Yummy! We like that. Usual gubbins, 5+. No sad onion faces though. Oh, there's a sad onion face. Yay. 0 to 3. No instructions for this. They're actually on the back of the card. They're very much going for the how many steps it takes to transform thing these days. For those in America, there you go. There's probably a different packaging for you. We get a lot of warnings and gumph because of all the various European countries around. And look, the return of a rub symbol! Yay, rub symbols for the win! That's what I used to love about Transformers when I was a kid back in the 80s. But there he is in the packaging. Let's get him open! And here he is in vehicle mode, and he's tiny! He's so wee compared to the other Cyberverse figures. And there's one thing you might have noticed as I spun that round. You'll notice on the packet, right? I'll show you the packet, in fact. Here it is. You'll notice on the packet, and I got really excited about the fact that there's a rub symbol, supposedly, on the packet. Focus, damn you! That, to me, looks like they're trying to say there's a rub symbol. And you can even see it right there, look. Okay, so rub symbol, okay. Now, it might just be in Europe, but look. I don't see no rub symbol. That is just painted on. Look at that. Oh, so disappointing. Meh. I mean, it's a good little Autobot symbol, but it's not a rub symbol, man. Come on. I'm trying to relive my G1 glory days here, and I thought this would be a good one to do because he's got his G1 lorry goodness. You know, nicely detailed for such a small figure. Nice, just a couple of paint. You've got blue, black, silver, red. And that's it. But the headlights have been picked out. The windows have been painted, at least on the front, not on the sides. A bit gappy around those bits. And his legs are obviously just legs stuck together. But not too bad. Another interesting thing, you've got a rolling wheel here. You've got a rolling wheel here. But here is moulded in plastic. Luckily all the legal guns is on the bottom. But he's quite nice. He's just so wee. He's so tiny. Size comparison, okay. Here he is next to a Commander class. Optimus Prime from Transformers Prime, and he is tiny, and this is quite an approximation of the movie bots as well, so he's a hell of a lot smaller than the movie Prime. Well, this is Prime, if that makes sense. Prime. Although I wish he'd be in evasion mode in the Transformers 4 all the time, because, you know, just the purist in me, I want him to be blue and red in that truck mode. Not in that truck mode, but that's just me. So, you know, dwarfed by the Commander class Cyberverse figures. Here he's with his wave mate, Starscream. Fits in a bit better with this guy. This isn't the Starscream in the same packaging as this guy. This one I've had for quite a few years. But the Starscream in this wave is pretty much exactly the same mould, so I'm using my old one. He fits in okay. I mean, you know, they're never going to be to scale. I mean, that plane's going to be a hell of a lot bigger than this lorry. But, you know, he fits in all right in vehicle mode, I suppose. So there he is with Starscream. Other ones we have got Megs from Transformers 3, and again, he's just dwarfed. But then again, the cabs are relatively in scale, so maybe in real life these Mack trucks are a lot bigger. So, you know, Transformers movie Evasion Up Mode Optimus Prime versus Transformers pre-mini Megatron. Kind of fits. But again, probably just a little bit too much of a size difference between those guys. Then we've got, what have we got here? We've got, there's your standard Legion class Cyberverse, and it fits in quite well with it. There's Prime Bumblebee, again, an approximation of what Bumblebee will look like in Transformers 4. So, you know, looks okay with him, actually. It goes in quite well, really. I think that's a better scale. That's Bumblebee. And a couple of G1 things. We've got a Micromaster. There he is. My standard size comparison. G1 Micromaster. Rusted up to buggery. And you know what? The Micromaster, to be fair, fits in quite well because trucks are bigger than cars. And to be honest, that is probably perfect in scale to real life. So there you go. You want him in scale, stick him next to a Micromaster. And then we've got... I can't remember his name now. G1 First Aid, part of Defensor, as we know. And he fits in quite well with him as well. So weirdly, see, everyone's complaining about the Transformers getting smaller these days, but the G1 standard toys back in the day are about the same size as the Cyberverse figure today. So which is kind of weird when you see them next to each other. Obviously, I need to get repro labels for this guy because it's just battered. But there you go, there's Prime in all his glory. Let's get him in robot mode, shall we? And there he is in all his roboty glory. I quite like the transformation on this. It was quite simplistic, as you can imagine, but it quite harkened back to the G1 transformation as well. So it's quite good for fans. It's achieved by cheating a little bit. He's got a fake grill on the back, but whatever. And he looks quite nice. Again, very, very small. But, you know, if you want a G1-esque looking... Optimus that kind of harkens to the new evasion mode as well. This is quite a good bet. Nice little paint job. Let's get a zoom in on his face. There you go. There's his face, and it's just it's a G1 style face with a faceplate, which is quite nice. Decent paint apps. No paint bleed or anything like that. And you know, he looks okay. He's relatively poseable for a thing. His arms are on a ball joint, so they go all the way around, up and down. And his legs don't bend, but they do kind of go forwards. And they are on a ball, but they're kind of restricted. So you're pretty much going to get him standing, and that's pretty much it. Size comparisons then. Here he is with the Prime, as it were. Got to get them bit further back. There you go. So the Prime towers over him. That's a Cyberverse figure, about average for a Cyberverse Commander class figure. So, you know, a heck of a lot smaller. So there is a Prime, and here he is with Prime Bumblebee. So he's more of a Legion class, really. But, you know, they go quite well together with the Legion classes, although you'd think Prime would be taller than Bumblebee, really. So you'd probably wait for a movie version Bumblebee to stand next to each other, because obviously his Wave Buddy in here is based off the G1 Bug. Speaking of the Wave Buddies, here he is with his Wave Buddy Starscream, which is again based off the G1, and it's very hard to stand up. But, you know, they look quite well together. Optimus and Starscream together, they're probably about the right height there. So, you know, on a shelf, they're going to look quite nice. And lastly, here he is with G1 First Aid. And as I was saying, obviously First Aid becomes a bit taller through the transformation, but it's quite surprising how the Legion classes and the Commander classes are actually about the same size in terms of height-wise as the original G1 stuff. Obviously the G1's first a bit more chunky and has a lot more plastic, and the plastic quality's a lot better back then. But yeah, it's just an interesting little comparison for you there. But overall, what do I think of this sort of mini Optimus Prime Legion class styly thing? Very good, to be honest. It's not quite G1 looking exact in his robot mode. It's kind of a mix-up of quite a few primes between then and now. But it seems to have picked up all the good bits. I like the detail on his legs down here. And, you know, although not very poseable, I don't expect the small ones to be poseable, really. And this will look quite well on my Legion class Cyberverse shelf. So these are out right now in the shops. A bit pricey for the size of them, to be honest with you, so if you see them on offer, definitely pick them up. The plastic quality is quite good, and the transformation is quite satisfying. Until then, though, I've been Moobit. You can follow me on Twitter, @Moobit, and if you click the link below, it'll go to my blog, to the contact section, which has all my various videos and YouTube channels and people I'm affiliated with, so you can go and find out more about me, should you so wish. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Let me know if you picked this guy up and what your thoughts are, and until next time, I'll see you later. Ta-ra!
like to move it, bit, bit, bit.